And they are in the musical as son and grandson, but here as father and son in the National Day Parade, watching it all.
Hey! Hey! We're on the screen!
We're on the screen! We're on the camera!
Hey!
Pa, the Red Lions were awesome.
Yeah.
Can I take skydiving lessons?
Let's ask your mother when we get home. Boy, you excited to see the parade? You know, there's going to be a musical later, and after that, fireworks. Playing with your computer games again.
It's a war game with warriors and big battles.
You know, when I was your age, we didn't have such things. Life was a little bit simpler. Only during National Day, we got to see helicopters and fighter jets.
Pa, when was your first time watching the parade?
My first time? My first parade was a long time ago. I was living in a kampong. We had so many neighbors. We were one big happy family. That day, Encik Saleh and his wife, Makcik Fatima, told my mother that they would take me to the parade. I was all dressed up. It was going to be at the Padang, and I was so excited. I couldn't wait. We took a bus to Collyer Quay and made our way to the Padang. As we were walking, I could hear the cheers, the music, the sounds of celebration. This was it. My first National Day parade. I was so happy that day. Proud that I was at the parade to celebrate Singapore's birthday. Suddenly, I saw planes flying in the sky, and the ground was trembling. The sound was deafening. I felt like I was in an action movie.
An action movie is where the son transports himself to right now as he imagines he's a task force commander involved in 3 different operational activities.
Commander.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Brigadier General Zachary.
What's happening?
There has been a bomb explosion and the building has collapsed. I've dispatched my officers to the incident location.
Sending in also our Civil Defence Force to conduct firefighting and rescue operations.
I'll send in assets from the armed forces as well.
And here's one of the parade's highlights, the dynamic defense display where we see our military hardware as well as assets from the home team come together to showcase their capabilities. The police force fast response car is just one of the assets. And so too is the SAF Protection of Installations Security Vehicle. These assets provide swift and effective response to counter any threats to Singapore. And this security vehicle comes armed with a general purpose machine gun.
This is the SEDF's pump ladder, more commonly known as the fire engine, always seen at the scene of the fire. And upcoming is the Singapore Civil Defence Force's multi-utility vehicle as well. At the scene of the fire, trying to put it up, are the members of the Singapore Civil Defence Force. And this is the multi-utility vehicle, one of 4 assets showcased for the very first time at the National Day Parade. 2 kilometers of coiled hoses able to draw water from open sources using float pumps. There's also the vegetation fire module and the flood response module.
We have successfully put out the fire, but it seems that there are still people trapped beneath the rubble.
I've sent in the heavy rescue tender, ambulances, and the special rescue platoon to rescue them.
Well, in the case of structural collapses, this will be sent by the Singapore Civil Defence Force, the Heavy Rescue Tender, along with the SCDF ambulances, who are there all the time to ensure that they are a frontline vehicle. And yes, this is the Heavy Rescue Tender. It performs height rescue and water rescue incidents. And due to the complexity of the issues, the right personnel required, and they come from the Disaster Assistance and Rescue Team, along with the SCDF team, making sure that everyone is safe. And the response is a swift one.
We have subdued the threats and rescued the injured civilians, but we still need support from the SAF and SCDF to neutralize the chemical and explosive threats.
Deploy the CBRD robot and the EOD team to neutralize the bombs.
Yes, sir.
As well as our hazmat mitigation vehicle to remove the hazardous material.
Well, in times of the chemical and explosive threats, the SAF and SCDF have got these assets to count on. Now, led out by the Hazmat Mitigation Vehicle, or the HMV, provides a comprehensive range of detection and mitigation equipped for any chemical, biological hazards and radioactive material.
And these are the chemical, biological, radiological and explosive robots. Both the CBRD and EOD teams are vital in the SAF's capabilities to fight off any terrorist attack.
And this is the hazmat utility buggy that can be found in any SCDF hazmat mitigation vehicle, enabling the hazmat specialists and equipment to be inserted swiftly into the hazard zone to mitigate hazardous material and conduct evacuation.
This is where the CBRE robots are so important, as it can carry out surveillance and destroy any suspected devices. Detectors for chemical, radioactive and explosive agents as well. Singapore's integrated approach to national security. The SAF and SCDF. Is everything okay, dear sir? If we can get the thumbs up, well done.
Situation contained. We protected our people and kept our land safe.
The police will also continue to maintain law and order.
It was a good team effort from all agencies. Wait, it's not over. There's another threat.
There seems to be some danger near our shores.
I've got it covered, Commander. Dispatching the Protector USV for reconnaissance.
Assets to safeguard our shores from the Republic of Singapore Navy, the Republic of Singapore Air Force and the Police Coast Guard. And from the Singapore Navy, you'll see the Protector unmanned surface vessel, totally unmanned, hence eliminating personal risk in theatre. Since it is unmanned, it increases the risk of survivability and is also one of the 4 assets making its National Day Parade debut.
Underwater threat detected. Send in our naval helicopters to identify what's there.
Roger that. Our Sikorsky S-70B Seahawk helicopter will use its sonar to detect and identify the underwater threat.
From one new asset to the next, this is the Seahawk naval helicopter, or the S-70B, acquired by the Republic of Singapore Navy. This awesome machine of the air augments the capabilities of the Navy's formidable class stealth frigates to fight threats on the surface and also the submarines.
The helicopters are operated by the RSAF, and when used together with the frigates, they enable anti-surface and anti-submarine mission to be conducted at far longer ranges.
Clear.
And that is the active sonar or dipping sonar, which allows the detection and identification of submarine threat.
Into the water the sonar goes, and it gives both the directional and range information before torpedoes can be launched.
Submarine threat has been detected and positively identified. Launching torpedoes now. Target destroyed.
What's that? Give me a situation update.
The Protector USV detected more threats in our sea. Police Coast Guard patrol craft have been dispatched to intercept them before they can reach our shores.
Good.
And now, to assist in the enforcement of law and order in Singapore's territorial waters are the Police Coast Guard interceptor crafts, conducting a high-speed interception of vessels. Singapore first acquired the interceptor crafts in 1995. That was the first-generation vessel. The second-generation vessels were introduced in 1999 and officially launched in January 2000.
Now, these boats can hit speeds of up to 50 knots or 90 kilometers per hour, and they are armed with general-purpose machine guns. The Republic of Singapore Navy, Republic of Singapore Air Force and the Police Coast Guard protecting our shores, demonstrating defensive countermeasures against sea aggressors.
Coast is clear.
Roger. We have safeguarded our shores.
Commander, possible threat sighted on an offshore island.
Dispatch our Chinook and combat divers to see what's there.
And the naval divers are all set and ready to go to do a reconnaissance, and they are being transported onto the scene via this Chinook helicopter. The Boeing CH-47 Chinook, a twin-engine tandem rotor, a heavy-lift helicopter that can carry double the load of its Super Puma.
And in it, the naval divers are all set and ready to take the plunge. And these divers can perform special maritime operations and military diving. And this operation of jumping off the Chinook into the waters is called the Helicast operation. The divers jumped off from the Chinook in the 2009 National Day Parade as well, but there is a difference this time as the divers surface to show us that they are diving for the first time in the National Day Parade in full combat gear.
Company size. Possible minefield in the way.
Roger. Send in the trailblazers to clear the minefield.
Yes, sir.
Also send in the guardsmen and terraces to secure the area.
Yes, sir.
The action now switches back onto land in the defending our home section, and the guardsmen come rappelling down buildings specializing in heliborne operations. And these are the Trailblazers, SAF's new mine-clearing vehicle to deal with the possible mine threats.
It's operated by a two-man crew, and the vehicle's heavily fortified armor makes it capable of clearing anti-tank mines for a clear path. Now, this is the mine flail system, which is mounted on the back of the Trailblazers, and it can clear a 100-meter path in approximately 7.5 minutes.
Yes, mounted on the Terex, state-of-the-art with modern armor systems, and these are the third-generation soldiers wearing the new pixelated uniform, which provides better camouflage in urban terrain. The Trailblazer and the Terex just behind it. Integrated operations from the Army, Navy and Air Force to take out a land threat, and both those vehicles are made in Singapore.
Send in the Apaches, HIMARS, and Leopard tanks for fire support.
Yes, sir.
Providing the firepower from the skies is the AH-64D Apache Longbow helicopter. Now, this aggressive war machine is truly part of the third-generation SAF, seamlessly integrating with ground troops and equipped with an improved sensor suite, a glass cockpit and weapon system.
Back to ground level, and out come the high-mobility artillery rocket systems, or the HIMARS, another one of the 4 new assets on display at this year's National Day Parade. It carries a single pod of 6 multiple launch rocket systems, which are able to strike targets as far as 70 kilometers away.
And as the HIMARS get ready to launch the rockets, we say hello to the Leopard tank, one of the best tanks in the world. A direct fire platform that offers enhanced firepower, protection and mobility.
It's always a sight, though, for the HIMARS. When the rockets launch, it requires less than 20 seconds to prepare for firing, and it possesses a rapid rate of fire which enables a full launcher load of 6 rockets to be fired in 45 seconds. Targets neutralized. Well done indeed. Move over, Jack Bauer.
Good job, everyone. We've protected our country.
Brigadier General Zachary, he has saved the day.
Daydreaming again. Hey, look. Parade starting.
And it's back to reality as the sun wakes up from his daydream. And we're here at the Marina Bay floating platform, joining for the parade and ceremony proper, which is going to start in a very short while as the crowd continues to see some of the assets on display. Out come the cameras and the flags all over again.
And those beautiful sounds are the fife and drum signaling the pomp and ceremony of the military segment. Fife and drums were last seen at the 2005 National Day Parade.
And leading them out is Parade Regimental Sergeant Major Master Warrant Officer Jennifer Tan Xiang Liang, who is also the first female parade RSM. Master Warrant Officer Jennifer is currently the Brigade Sergeant Major of the 4th Singapore Armour Brigade. And by the way, she also just recently celebrated her birthday 4 days ago. So happy birthday to her. This will be a memorable birthday present for the mother of 3.
RSM calling the supporting contingent and follows them onto the parade ground, entering from both left and right of the platform. This year, there's a total of 23 supporting contingents. This year we also see the highest number of civilian contingent gathered on the floating platform.
Ladies and gentlemen, look to your right. This year, the 21 Jump Salute will be proudly presented by the men from 23rd Battalion, Singapore Artillery. The platform they are on is made up of floating bridges known as M3Gs, operated by men from 33rd Battalion.
The M3G brought in the military floating bridge that brings in the presidential gun salutes and the cannons, the 20-pounder guns that will greet the president a little bit later on. It's operated by 35 Singapore combat engineers. The 6 M3Gs, military floating bridges, are pieced together to form a platform to bring the presidential gun salute closer to the spectators this year.